they sent me a bit of dialogue, and could you just film yourself do this? So my partner filmed me doing it, and yeah, fast forward. I think it was only a month and a bit, and I was on set with Cillian Murphy.
That's stunning. Did you have a moment during lockdown where you just thought it's completely gone? Then you just
totally. It's like that's done.
Lost.
That's my one. Yeah. I've been in this game at that point. 22 years or whatever. That's me done. It's not going to happen. That was my opportunity, and that's it.
So glad it worked out.
And it did, and I couldn't believe that they got back, and they got this part came up.
Welcome to MAMWAA. I'm Gordy, your host, and this is the podcast that includes you into my most famous song lyrics.
He's a middle-aged man with an attitude, and he didn't even have one till he met you.
That's right, I'm the middle-aged man, and my attitude will chatter us through all things that I'm passionate about, from spirituality, the gym and fitness, food, travelling, and music or movies. Quick disclaimer, this list is not exhaustive. So you can get on or you can get off and join us for the episodes that you like the sounds of. Dip in or dip out, as long as you keep dipping. Either way, we've got something to say and we're going in 3, 2, 1 audition after another, trying to secure the work as an actor or performer, depending on your industry. Welcome to today's episode of MAMWAA, where today we're exploring the ins and outs of being a working actor with Stephan Bessant. Sorry, is it Bessant or Bessant?
Bessant. There we go. Stephan Bessant's fine. There we go. Yeah.
So from auditioning to networking, we delve into the world of performing, and we'll give you all some tips and insights to help you understand the working cogs of the industry and a bit more, or even some help to succeed in your own acting career. So Stephan, correct me if I'm wrong, but as we know, being a working actor is not an easy feat. It does require dedication, perseverance, and a lot of hard work to both secure the work firstly and then do the actual work. So in this episode, we're going to hopefully be discussing your experiences on what it takes to make it in the industry and some of the challenges that you personally have faced on a daily basis as well. So welcome to MAMWAA, Stephan.
Thank you.
Thanks for taking the time to talk to us today.
I'm delighted. Thank you very much for, it's I'm glad to be one of your, so MAMWAA, tell me again what it smells. It stands for what? It's middle-aged man with attitude.
That's the one, yeah.
That's it. Yeah, I'm glad to be included in that Hall of Fame. So yes, I'm glad. I'm still middle-aged. I'm glad you included me in that. So yeah.
Oh, I'll tell you what. I'm going to start, and I was thinking about this earlier. Most mainstream television hosts, right? They always start with this one question, and it's one of my big bugbears. How are you? Without being patronising.
As Holly says, no, how are you?
Yeah.
As Holly would say. I'm all right, thank you. I'm absolutely shattered. I've got to be honest, because for some reason, me and my partner, we've just found ourselves in this bubble of non-stop running around. We are doing so many things at once at the moment. And like I said to you just before we started recording, I got back from a gig last night or this morning at 2:30 this morning. So, and then the alarm went off for the school run at 6:30. So it's like, but yes, I'm all right. Thank you. I'm very excited to do this. It's nice to just sit and chat because I don't get time to do that a lot, to be honest. So yeah.
You're traveling far for that time in the morning, or do you keep it quite close?
No, the clients they're never close. I mean, yesterday I drove 310 miles.
Wow.
So I went from Liverpool to Manchester to pick an actress up. We went up to Melton Mowbray and then reverse journey back. And last week I went to Luton and back. So it's I do. And my bookings never seem to be that close, sadly. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's start at the very beginning. A very good place to start. Tell us, firstly, a bit about where, when, why. How did you get into this industry? Why did you choose performing? What prompted it all?
A question I ask myself every day. When? I'll tell you when I graduated at drama school. I went to a drama school called Webber Douglas Academy in London, which sadly is no longer there, as these things go. And I graduated in 1997.
I was 17.
You were 17.
Yeah.
There we go. You were 17. What was I? I think I was 26. So one of the oldest on the course. So I graduated in 97, and the reason I did it or got into theatre because at school it was the only safe place for me. Because I had a certain look at school, which wasn't a great one, you know. And in school in the early 80s was mean, man. And so I was one of the Dungeons and Dragons people, and we didn't last very long walking across the playground. So, but in drama, I got to hang with, you know, all the cool kids, you know, Hannah, Sharon, Steve, and all these really cool
I know
people
them fondly.
yeah, no, but I don't want to say the full name,
yeah.
but because I don't know what they're doing now. But these guys were looked on as gods in school, and in drama club, I was with them, and so this was the safe place for me to do drama. And I had a wonderful drama teacher who's still going, and I'll say his full name, Robert Meadows, who's my English and drama teacher, and he is the reason I'm still doing this now, I think, because he was amazing, and he's now writing plays, and he's actually written a play recently for an amateur dramatics company I was with in Chester, so he's still going strong. So yeah,
that's amazing. And do you know what they do say? It takes one person in your younger years to make the rest of your life. And
totally,
like,
I always
just takes that one right word from the right person, and it can form who you become. And
it's very rarely from the people you expect it from as well.
Yeah.
And you know, the ones you look for approval or affirmation, not that they don't give it you, but they don't say necessarily the right thing, and it's just from nowhere it'll come from. So yeah, so Robert Meadows, I owe everything to you, sir.
Amazing. So you're not just an actor, are you? You do a couple of things.
I do now, yes, I do. I've got a lot of plates in the air at the moment.
Yeah, and you've got your own company, which we'll get into in a sec. But talking of performance, then, what pushes your buttons? It's such a large scope of work.
Sure.
So what is it about the work that pushes your buttons and really makes you tick? What keeps you in it?
What keeps me in it? The thing that keeps me in it most is stubbornness. Because I will not, because I had to pay for a lot of my drama fees myself. So there's a part of me that will always think, no, I worked really hard to get through drama school. I'm not going to give this up. I'm sorry, I'm not. So a lot of stubbornness keeps me going. I just really enjoy it still when you get it. I mean, you know, you're a performer yourself. When you're performing, it's the best feeling in the world. When you're not, it's horrible. Yeah. So it is that performing, be it on a camera or in front of a live audience, which I prefer a live audience, but it doesn't pay as well. So it is that it's being someone else. It's going back to being a kid and being in a safe space. So when I can be someone else, it's wonderful. It's wonderful, and you can just put everything to one side while you're entertaining these people. And you can't do nothing but entertain them. So it's a nice little holiday, I think.
Yeah, it really is. I love that escape. Like whether it's a couple of hours or a day of presenting, you do have to put on this.
Yeah,
you get into a bubble that takes you away from all the other.
You literally have to go, right, you lot over there for now, you know, and it's been a really tough week because I've done a lot of performing of, like we'll get on to, I've done Tina this week, I've done Murders this week, I've done self-tape auditions this week.
You mentioned Tina, we'll get into quite a lot. We don't want to give away too much too soon, but
no, it's a tiny spoiler.
With where you are now then, what would you say your biggest learning curves have been, or one learning curve that helped you to adapt, increase your success, to get all your parts? Like what would you put down to the one thing that helped you learn?
It's a great question. I'm still trying to find the answer to get the parts, to be honest. I mean, like I say, I'm 53 and I'm still trying, but I've done all right. And the one thing, don't ever have a that'll do attitude. I think because there's an awful lot of people who that'll do, and I never have, you know. So I will always go the extra mile if it's a show, if it's a self-tape, or if it's an audition, whatever. Just never have a that'll do attitude, because it shows through. And have respect for the material in front of you. So if it's a script or or the person you're working with, you know, I think just don't do a half-assed job. Simple as that.
Yeah,
that's simple as that. You know, because some people, this is when it's a play or a show or whatever. They've waited a long time. They've been looking forward to this. They've saved up their money. This could be a birthday present, whatever. You know, this, you know, and I remember in Edinburgh, I did a kids show. I'd written a kids show, took up there. And one of the shows, we had just 2 kids turn up. That was it. And we were chatting to them beforehand. And ours was the one show they wanted to see. So it's like, right, so we did a great show for them, you know. But yeah, that'll be it. That'll be my one tip. Don't, never that will do, won't do. Simple as that.
Yeah,
you know?
and like there's a running thing as well in a lot of work that it has to be tripled or quadrupled in the performance world, and it's not just the audition that gets you the job; it's the preparation to get to the audition. It's the work you put in before you get there, or the self-tape. Like, there's just so much that's enough.
Yeah,
just doesn't
you've got
work.
to convince them that they can trust you, because all casting directors, whatever, they really want you to be good. They're not sitting there waiting to find a fault. They want a really easy job. They want you to walk in and go, there he is, brilliant, done. So you need to convince them that you can be trusted, and so do that prep, for God's sake. You know, it's a one job we're asked to do. Just do it, do it properly.
One for now. Talking about auditioning, then,
yes,
they can be nerve-wracking. We know they can be intimidating, but without them, you can't get the jobs. So we do need to continually audition for the roles, whether it's films, television shows, commercials, theatre productions. And it is important, like we've said, to be prepared. Also to be confident and professional in everything that we're attending for auditions. So for your television roles then, let's start with Peaky Blinders for a start. Like, tell us a bit about when did that come about? How did that happen? Who were you working with?
Oh, well, I still can't believe I did it. I mean, that's one of those jobs. You do jobs as an actor, and they're all great for the time you do them. But that was just like, I'm on Peaky Blinders set. I can't believe it. So that came about just before lockdown, believe it or not. So that was a self-tape, even though we hadn't gone into lockdown and everything was normal. And that was still a self-tape for a small part. And I was in London at the time on a trip with my partner. So, and they wanted it like the next day. So we found an alleyway and we did a self-tape and sent it off. Didn't hear anything for weeks, and suddenly they offered me the part. And it was original part was an Irish grass for Arthur. I had to be a little sneak for him, you know. And then lockdown hit and everything stopped. So I was a week away from going to do the filming, and everything closed down. It's like, you are just my luck, you know. It's like, oh man. And there was they were saying, we don't know when we're going to be filming again, we're really sorry. Anyway, months go, and they eventually say, we're filming again, but your part's gone. I'm afraid, because it was right face to face. It was like we were like that, me and Arthur, in the scene. And they said, we just can't have any actors being that close. So I'm sorry, we've had to get rid of your part. Okay, never mind. But we've got another part for you that we'd like you to consider. Can you self-tape again for George the butler, Tommy Shelby's butler? And I went, yeah, okay. So they sent me a bit of dialogue, and could you just film yourself do this? So my partner filmed me doing it, and fast forward, I think it was only a month and a bit, and I was on set with Cillian Murphy.
That's stunning. Did you have a moment during lockdown where you just thought it's completely gone? Then you just
totally. It's like that's done.
Lost.
That's my one. I've been in this game at that point, 20, 22 years or whatever. That's me done. It's not going to happen. That was my opportunity, and that's it.
So glad it worked out.
And it did, and I couldn't believe that they got back, and they got this part came up, and it was kind of stars aligned, because the only reason George the Butler was created is because, I don't know if you watch Peaky, but there's a character called Frances who's a housekeeper, Tommy's housekeeper. And that actress was working on another show called Highlander. So she couldn't do a couple of weeks filming. So basically I got all of her scenes. So instead of there being a housekeeper, they had a head butler.
Always waiting in the wings for that chance.
I'm ready to pounce on someone else's misfortune. Absolutely.
I've learned all the lines and all the scenes just in case.
I'll take it from here. But no, it was such a magical experience. Like to go from nothing to standing in a room shoulder to shoulder with Cillian Murphy, Natasha O'Keefe's over there, Sophie Rundle's over there. Brilliant. absolutely. And I was a week on set with those guys. Then a couple of months off, then I went back to do a Christmas scene, which was bonkers in May. So yeah.
Yeah, amazing. I don't watch Peaky Blinders for no other reason than it's just set too far behind the genre of stuff I watch. That's the only reason.
That's fair enough. No,
But
that's all right. No, don't worry.
There's this status in the Midlands, isn't there, that Peaky Blinders is higher than anything else in the world. It's like, it's better than EastEnders, it's better than Hollywood, it's Peaky Blinders, for goodness sake.
Oh, it's true.
But,
and a lot of Midlands people, they'll love it and watch it, but then they'll go, yeah, the accents aren't right, though. They can't do the accents at all, can they? No, it's just like, it's just true, they can't. But no, it was a wonderful experience. I absolutely loved it. And you'll never recognise me in it. I've got a grey wig in that, so I'm quite old in that. Yeah.
What about your sets, locations? Where did you have to go far, or?
Not from Liverpool, no. Tommy's house is actually at a place called Arley Hall in Crewe, which it's about 40 minutes drive from where I live. So, and again, because of lockdown and COVID and what have you, we all got our own car.
Amazing.
So I got picked up every morning that week.
Cough all over it. You might get to keep
absolutely.
it.
It's like, here we go. This is my car now. But yeah, we all had our own drivers. That was nice. But yeah, so Arley Hall in Crewe. So if anyone wants to go to Crewe, go to Arley Hall. That's Tommy's mansion. That's where Tommy's house was. Yeah.
Networking also is a big part, because from that network, your part went away and a different one came about. Now, just for the listeners and watchers, networking is a crucial aspect of being a working actor. It builds relationships with casting directors, agents, other industry professionals can also help you land more auditions and roles. There's industry events, I'm sure, like myself, you've attended quite a few conferences, like days where you just get a chance to meet different production companies and things. There's workshops, classes, a lot of great ways to meet new people and expand that network that we're talking about. So do you, in your journey, being, I'm going to say typecast, because casting directors look for a certain type of person.
They do.
Do you see a lot of the same or similar casting directors or companies that you get called for?
I do. I mean, there's a few casting directors that I've seen more than 3 or 4 times, at least, because like I said earlier, they want their job to be the easiest in the world, and that's nothing wrong with that. So if they know that, Steph's quite good at playing that part, let's get him in again. We all know the saying, it's who you know. It cannot be more true in our business. It really can. Unfortunately for some people, but yeah, you do network, you do meet people, you do swap numbers, and you go, oh yeah, well, come and see me in this. But yeah, I do see a lot of the same people, definitely.
Real. And then we go from auditions, networking. Once you've got the role, the real work starts, and that's when you have to do all the. You've done the prep. What about the actual work, the lines, rehearsals? Getting used to being in front of cameras if you've never done it before. Live audiences, we can chat about soon with your live work. So yes, it's important to do those things, but it's also important for us to be flexible, adaptable. The collaboration is also a big part of it with the people that we have to work with. So let's then talk about doctors, because you've been featured on Doctors. Before we talk about Tina specifically, how did the part on Doctors come about?
Well, it's I got the audition because those that don't know, I played a character called Tina on BBC on Doctors, on BBC Doctors, and she was one of the guest leads, and she was a quiz mistress, and we find out in the episode that
sorry, just to clarify,
yes,
you say she, she's a drag queen.
Yeah, I always call her she. Well, yes, it's a he, she. Yeah,
just in case people get confused, I just wanted to clarify that.
The drag queen Tina. Yes, I'll call her. Yeah, I'll use her name. So Tina was a quiz mistress, and we find out that Tina was actually a guy called Brian, who was the bully of Dr. Al, one of the main parts on Doctors, and he's at the quiz. And halfway through the quiz, he suddenly discovers, oh my gosh, that's Brian who used to bully me at school. So the part was a drag queen. Okay, and you don't see Brian out of his drag queen persona of Tina. He's always Tina.
So it came as a surprise to anyone who was watching the episode as well.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, oh, okay, so Dr. Al knows her. But the reason I got the audition It was because I'd actually, and this will be news to you as well, because I didn't tell you this. I want to be surprised. She's the third drag queen I've played on screen.
Amazing.
Yes, and so because my agent suddenly, before I got my agent, I played a drag queen in a TV show called How Not to Kill Your Lover.
Okay.
And it was an American show recreating true life murders. And I played many years ago a drag queen called Kitty Litter, real drag queen, American drag queen. And he was murdered by their boyfriend. Was shot at point blank range in the kitchen in an argument. So it was an American drama, and I got to recreate her for that. And because of that, I got cast as a drag queen streetwalker in a show called, the best streetwalker in a show called Gorilla, which was produced by Idris Elba. So when the part of Tina Biscuit came along, my agent went, "Go, you're up for this." So I went for the audition, and a very famous, which I won't say the name unless you want me to, a very, very famous drag queen was in before me for the part, and I got the part. And there's this big drag queen who was on Drag Race UK, didn't get the part, and I did. So I can't believe this.
Now
so
we have to ask, who was it?
Vinegar Strokes.
Oh wow, okay.
I know. So when he came out, I was like, "Oh, you're Vinegar Strokes," and we had a chat, and because I thought he was amazing on Drag Race. But yeah, I beat him to the role, which was mad. So yeah, so the reason I got it was because I suddenly got this talking about typecasting. I was getting seen as drag queen. So yeah, she's
amazing.
She's actually my third drag queen.
That also goes to show that it doesn't matter who you are. If you're not right for a part, you're not right for a part.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
Regardless of what your platform is or what you've done before or even after, like it's not always about how you do the whole whole picture.
Yeah,
like,
the director was sat there. They had a picture in their head, like I said earlier, and they're just waiting for that person to come in and go, "There he is, boom, done." Yeah, exactly. So.
Well,
yes, I was very lucky, and she's been with me ever since. I've lived with her ever since, Tina.
So my next question then, if Tina's your third, why is she the drag queen that stuck around for you? What was it about Tina that prompted this next part of our conversation about live shows?
A little bug called COVID-19. Basically, COVID did it because I did Tina. It went out. It got broadcast on Doctors in March 2020. It went out. And then the world closed, and actors, yourself included, we had nothing to do, did we? There was no outlet for what we could do, and it was my partner Lisa that came. They said, "Well, that character you played on Doctors, she was a Christmas once." She went, "Yeah. Well, can't you just maybe recreate her and do like Facebook shows and stuff?" I said, "Oh no, it's BBC. I can't." And she goes, "Well, we could try." So I hunted down the writer of the episode, an amazing woman, another Lisa called Lisa McMullen, and she wrote that episode of Doctors. Found out by the BBC, they told me, and I tracked her down, wrote to her and said, "Oh hi, I played Tina in your episode," and we got the banter going. Long story short, she got permission from the BBC, gave it to me, and now Tina is mine. So the BBC gave me permission to use Tina any way I wanted, as long as it was respectful. And I started doing online shows with her. Every Tuesday night, I'd do a quiz on Facebook, and then onto Zoom and Teams and whatever. And that was, I did that every Tuesday for a whole year. Every Tuesday night, I did a quiz for people, and I got a bit of a following. And I thought, I'm going to have to start doing live shows, I think. And I gave it a go. First live show was last March, so March 2023. I bit the bullet and did a live show in Redditch at the Palace Theatre. 2 full houses. And now she's live.
Amazing. So I tell you, if you don't ask, you don't get. Because had you not hunted down... I mean, I'm not telling people to go and hunt down casting directors or writers.
There was a pandemic on.
Like when you've got something that you want to give to the world, you can't just say, "I'm not allowed to do that." Like, just go and take those steps. Take those steps and find out a bit more. Yeah. So
I was never going to do it without permission because obviously I could have got in trouble.
yeah,
So
of course.
I got permission. They said yes. So I did a couple of tentative shows, and here we are. She did a show on Friday in Derby, and another show in Solihull, and she got some shows coming up. So yeah,
amazing. So tell us about the shows she's got coming up. Just very
coming
briefly.
up. Well,
yeah.
there we go.
I'll
Well,
put
it's
a picture
Tina's
on,
Evening Teas. There we go. And I'm doing on 22nd of June. There's a live show in Liverpool. Finally, my hometown.
And is it formatted around a quiz, Mistress?
Yes,
okay.
it's a 2.5 hour show with an interval, and so I open with a song and some stand up, go into a quiz, which is a fun comedy quiz of movies and TV and whatnot. Finish on a song. And part 2, big music bingo. Again, lots of comedy in there. I've got a couple of guests that do some singing as well. So it's a full on variety show, a bit of play your cards right as well. But so yeah, it's a full night out, which I give to people, and hopefully they enjoy. I'm not a nasty drag. So because some people say, "Oh, she nasty." She wasn't doctors, but I've made her really nice.
Oh, that's good. You turned it around for her. That's good.
Yeah.
I was going to say about your family, like what their take on Tina is, but if Lisa's like recommended it. I guess the idea of Tina being long term doesn't bother them.
Lisa's incredible. I mean, quite often, and people must be very understanding when they overhear us talk. And we'll go into H&M, and we're picking out dresses for me, and we're going, I'm not sure about that. And people overlook and go, she's very understanding.
Yeah.
No, but Lisa's been genuinely the one. You've got to do this. So, and now we do say in classic terms there are 3 people in this relationship, and Tina being included, but Ned as well. Lisa's son Ned, who's 15 now. He's been to the live shows. He thinks she's really funny, and when I was doing the online shows, he was quite a major part. I used to talk about him a lot. At one point, because he was still quite young, everyone used to tell him, Ned, bad. So everyone used to do that. He's been a major part of it. And his dad's an actor too. And his dad is very famous for doing dames in Panto. Okay, so he's used to people around him dressing up. So he's fine with it. No, they've both been incredibly patient with me and Tina. So
amazing. And is Lisa in performance as well?
She's in creative. She's very creative. She's an artist, an incredible artist as well. And she's got her own graphic design company. But she's a formidable, amazing artist. So yeah, we're both creative. That's and cute. Ned's making YouTube videos. I mean, and one of his YouTube videos recently got over 7,000 views because he talks about video games. So creative household here. So. Yeah,
amazing. And you were talking about other people's reactions when you're out and about. Have you had any from existing people that you knew? Did you have any kind of adverse reactions that you might not have expected?
Yeah, do you know what?
I guess from permanent drag rather than like a one-off, because Tina's stuck around for a bit.
Yeah,
it would be interesting to know.
A lot of people have embraced her, which is lovely. I mean, and she has got followers now, which we call the Teabaggers. And
great name.
So he does a competition, and that's one that came out. But yeah, there's been some really lovely feedback, and people that don't. Because obviously you get your mates come to the show, and obviously they're going to be, you're amazing, which is lovely. But there's been people that don't even know who I am, have never met me, just met Tina, and they absolutely love her.
That's so good.
And it's really lovely. And it's like, because I did a show in Beck Theatre down in Hayes. I know no one down there. So the only people I knew was Mark that was in the show and Lisa that came with me. And so everyone in the audience was a total stranger to me, and it went really well. So, but you said about adverse, there's been a few people that have been, to be honest, that have been not so supported, and I thought they would be. Mm-hmm. I thought, oh, that's a real shame, and I thought you might be behind this, and they've not been. And I'm doing Tina's a fun thing to do, because I used to do a lot of stand-up before. Years ago, when I was 40, I did a bit of stand up around Birmingham at Stephan Murphy's, the Lamp Tavern in Dudley. I used to do stand up at, and I've always wanted to get back to stand up and comedy. And Tina's the conduit, simple as that. Yeah. So, yeah.
I think the interesting thing that not everyone realizes in situations like this, like you talk about Drag Race, for example, drag queens are expressing through drag rather than the other way around. Tina sounds like she's a product of performance rather than the other way around. It's not.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true. Yeah, she's come the other way around, really.
And then, I mean, male personas have been doing drag for years. Like we look at Steve Coogan. Back in the when I first came out in my 20s, I was introduced to Steve Coogan's Pauline Calf.
Pauline Calf, yeah,
she was hilarious. I absolutely loved her. But again, she was a product of performance. He wasn't. He didn't create her to express anything else. It was, and that's Drag Race season 14. There was a heterosexual male for the first time on Drag Race who was Maddie Morphosis. I've not seen it yet, so please don't give me any spoilers if you've seen it.
Okay,
but Maddie Morphosis,
work,
Daniel Truitt. So I'm looking forward to seeing that because again, it's not very mainstream to have that situation in place. And then you've got David Williams on Little Britain. Like there's just so many examples that we could look at, and I just find it interesting sometimes to know.
It's true, yeah.
What reactions are.
The ones that are against it, if you like, I just don't think they get it. That with Tina, I'm playing a character. She is a character.
Yeah.
You know, the second she comes off stage, the wig comes off, the heels come off. That's it. That's done. You know, and that's what it is. Because I do other shows, and I'm going to talk about the murders in a bit, the murder mysteries. They're all characters, and I think that's what Lisa and Ned realize as well. That's why they totally accept it. Because I'm not walking around the house as Tina, for God's sake.
Yeah, exactly.
And
I'll tell that to the people in Matalan because they might have other ideas.
Yes, exactly. Need to. I just keep trying. Look, it's a job. It's a job. But you know what? And also my family, my mum and stuff, and bizarrely my sister is also called Tina. So that's a whole new kettle of fish. But yeah, my sister's coming to see the show for the first time in Liverpool, so that'll be really interesting for them to see her live. But they're really good examples bringing up Pauline Calf like that.
Yeah,
exactly what it is. Exactly what it is. So yeah.
So, working actors, they also need to take care of themselves physically and mentally. Acting can be demanding and stressful, so it is important to prioritise and self-care and maintain that healthy work-life balance. Regular exercise, proper nutrition, and plenty of rest are essential to stay fit and focused in this competitive industry. To step away from Tina for a second, we talk a lot about travel on MAMWAA, as well as spirituality, so I love the universe behind you.
Yes.
So tell us about Belgium. You recently went to Belgium. I know you can't say too much because it hasn't come out yet, but just tell us what you can about Belgium. What happened?
Oh, that was a lovely job. Came out of nowhere. I was asked by my agent to do a self-tape on a Wednesday, and very quick self-tape because they needed it by the Thursday morning. So I sent it off Thursday afternoon. I said I got the gig. I'm flying out Monday. So that was just like, okay. So it was really nice. I was there. I flew out the Monday, filmed all day Tuesday, came home Wednesday night, and it was a really lovely. Oh, darling, I'm going to Belgium next week. Fantastic. Bring chocolates.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what the film was or the program. Bring chocolates. So yes, and it was like it was a really good. I wish I could tell you more about the people in it because there was some pretty. Oh my God, they're in it. Okay, so there were some big names. So, but yes, I can't say much about it, I'm afraid.
That's so good, though.
I'll tell you off camera.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So, tell us about Belgium. Did you get to see much of it? If you did, where did you go? What did you see?
I did. I went to because on the Wednesday, like I said, I filmed on the Tuesday, so kind of I got into the airport late Monday. Straight to the hotel, straight to the set on the Tuesday. So Wednesday, I had a whole day to myself, which was really nice. So they drove me to Antwerp, and the last time I was in Antwerp, I was 30. So 24 years earlier, because I toured a school play, a school show around Antwerp. So it was really nice to walk around there. And then I jumped on a train and spent the rest of the day in Brussels, it was pouring with rain, absolutely miserable. Never been to Brussels before, but that's fine. I went to the architecture. There's a big. I don't know if you've been. There's a big square in Brussels. The big square where they got the museum and they got the Magritte little shop there as well. So I was just like, I'm in Brussels, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
So I went a good long
Did you
walk.
go through the like palace square? It's kind of hidden away. You would know it's there if you just look up to the palace. But there's like as you go through that square,
Uh-huh.
on the left there's like a small alleyway, and as you go through it, you just walk into this massive palace.
Oh, I
Like
don't
it's
think I did. Oh no.
huge. Oh,
Well,
like
do you know what? I'm definitely going back because it's an easy flight, and
yeah,
Lisa and I've never been, so 100% going back.
yeah.
So I will definitely look out for that. So,
And
so
you
yeah, I did
probably
find.
passed the alleyway if you were looking for chocolates, because there's quite a few chocolatiers there.
Oh my goodness me, yes. There is a
Um,
covered one which was beautiful, and all these. There was a beautiful precinct of chocolate shop, chocolate
Yeah.
shop, cafe, chocolate shop. Yeah, it was all covered. It was beautiful. So yeah, I spent most of my time in there. So,
the one
yeah.
thing about Belgium, I arrived quite late as well, but Brussels, sorry. I arrived in Brussels quite late, and I got off the train about 11 p.m. And I had like a mile walk to my my hotel or hostel, wherever it was. And the place was a dump. There was rubbish bags everywhere. Like it just looked awful. And I left at 7 a.m. the next morning.
Yeah.
And I did this 4-hour walk, and there was not one bit of rubbish in Brussels at all.
No, oh, so
Like,
overnight,
just
completely,
overnight,
came
it was
out.
like a completely
Amazing.
different place. I just found it amazing.
Yeah, I can't wait to go
did
back.
not
I can't wait to
expect
go
it.
when it's dry. Because, you know, so I went to the art, I think they call it the arts quarter. So it's all the way up those steps.
Yes.
And they got the Magritte Museum with the big apple on the top.
Yeah.
So I went up there, and there's a bar halfway up, and I basically stopped there for 2 hours. Had a wheat beer, and that's just like, I'm staying here now. And it was yeah, definitely go back.
Yeah.
Beautiful place,
It is
and
nice.
to be on somebody else's payroll as well. How lovely. So yeah.
So also talking about self-care just then, when you are away and you're quite far away, or you're not around home, what do you do for self-care? How do you stop being homesick and make sure you're looking after yourself? What kind of things do you put in place for yourself?
That's a great question, because that's a really tough one, especially if like this one there wasn't much time to plan. So you try and eat the best you can and not rely on, oh, there's the golden arches, that'll do. Try not to have that attitude. I try to make, if there's a good Wi-Fi, then I will do a full video call, show Lisa around the hotel room and the area, so I feel that she's sharing it with me, because it's the one thing that we really like to share experiences. So I'll do all that as well. But and I saw your question about this earlier. This comes with me everywhere.
Oh, amazing.
And this is it's one of the first things that Lisa got me in the first Christmas we were together. So this little fella, or girl, it's actually female, apparently. That's what it says on there. So I'm looking at the label.
Have you given her a name?
Yes, this is Bounce.
Bounce
the fox.
Hi, Bounce.
And so she comes everywhere with me. There we go. It sounds ridiculous at 53 years old, but no, it's just calls home, and make sure I've got a book from home that I've been reading at home, so I feel that we're linked. And if there's a good Wi-Fi connection, we'll watch something together. I'll put WhatsApp video on or whatever, and we'll watch the TV or something together, even though we're miles apart. So
that's great.
But yeah, it's making sure I can get a call home, because it's hard and it's not very nice. So it's living out of a suitcase. I've done that. I used to do big tours when I was single. I couldn't do that now. I mean, people are great at it. I can't.
Saying about Bounce, I had about 11 years where I was presenting around the UK, and I was on the road all the time. I was hardly ever home. And I've got two very same size as Bounce, but I've got two little pug dogs.
Ah, there you go.
I didn't name them because there was two of them and it was just too confusing, but they're in my car and there's one on each side of the window.
Perfect.
And it's just, I know it sounds weird, but it's a comfort thing, isn't it?
Totally.
Just to have something
to explain
around
it to people
you.
that don't. Yeah.
I get
it's just is that connection home. It's like, at least there's that.
Yeah.
And then Bounce comes out and goes on the bed, and that's where she stays. And I come back from filming or whatever, she's there.
Yeah, I get that.
You know, and it's just, and it's like, there's, and it sounds crazy, but I think people that don't get it, but
Well, my pugs are still in the car to this day.
Perfect.
I keep them everywhere. I like to travel.
I'm such a romantic. It's terrible.
Okay, so when you get home and you have to work in this country, you have your own company.
I do.
So I
have no peace whatsoever.
I know, it's good though. You keep yourself busy. But you've got some self-care in place, so I'm happy for you to keep talking about this. Murder Mystery, tell us about that.
Yes, it's a company, blatant plug, called Murder on the Side. And it came out, and it's been running for 15 years, over 15 years. And it's one of those things that came out of, as an actor, you need something else to do. You do. Come on, be serious. So
well, here we are on a podcast. There you go.
Do you see? We're doing something else. And I was doing murders for other people and other companies. And it got to a point where the companies I was working for, I thought, I'm not sure about how they're doing this, And it came to a head. I've worked for another company where he turned up with all the wrong costumes, not one prize, and he ended up giving, the plaits you can get, the blonde plaits, fancy dress. He gave one of those away as a prize. And it's like, yeah, I'm done with this. So I wrote one myself, did a few free shows, and that was 15 years ago. And now I'm running it pretty much side to side alongside Tina and acting and everything else I'm doing.
So I assume that means you're a casting director now as well, are you?
Absolutely. So always ready for a resume, always ready and prepared to constantly taking people on, male, female. Yeah, do it. I expect yours on the post tomorrow. And
what's your website for anyone who wants to give you a CV?
Oh, please, thank you. That's very kind. All the W's, murderontheside.co.uk. Simple as that. Murder on the Side, all one word. Yeah.
You can be inundated with casting options now.
Thank you, do. Yes, because we go literally everywhere. I mean, in the last few weeks, Luton, Melton Mowbray, Portsmouth, Orkin Castle, which is up in Moffat. Do you know Moffat at all?
I think I've drove through it at some point. I recognise it. I've not been,
Go past T-Bay, past Shap, keep going, and it's on the way to Carlisle, a place called Moffat. So yeah, I did a murder mystery at a castle there a few weeks ago as well. So yeah, I have resumes from anywhere in the country.
So you get around, and I seen one of your pictures of like a Rocky Horror theme. Was that one of the shows?
Yes, that's one of them. Yes, there's over 30 plots to choose from. Believe it or not.
Okay.
Including Peaky Blinders. I do a Peaky Blinders plot, Rocky Horror, Fawlty Towers, Downton Abbey, and I'm writing as we speak Adam's Family one, because that's quite prominent at the moment.
Yeah.
So I try to write a new plot every year, and this year's is Adam's Family. So yeah, lots of different ones to choose from.
Oh, I love it. Check it out, guys.
Thank you. Yes, that's very kind of you. But yeah, it'll go all over the place. We do.
Once everyone's been and seen you, Tina has got a show coming up in Liverpool, I believe.
Yes. 22nd of June, please. Saturday, 22nd of June at the Arts. What is it? I keep saying Arts Bar. Yes, the Arts Bar, Hope Street. So if you know Liverpool, it's opposite the Everyman Theatre. Arts Bar, Hope Street. I'm doing 22nd of June. Absolutely.
Amazing. Tickets, are they on your website? Are they?
Basically, if you find Tina Biscuit on Facebook or Instagram, so it's all one. It's TEENABIZKIT. And all the details of the shows are on either Instagram or Facebook. That's the easiest. So TEENABIZKIT.
Does Tina have her own website coming?
I've got the domains ready. So amazing. Yes, they are all coming. Yeah, they're all coming.
Just coming hard and fast to any internet near you.
Yes, yeah, you won't get rid of it. But yes, that's one thing. I registered the domains. I just got to get the website up and running. So yes,
brilliant. So guys, that is Stephan Bessant. Thank you again, Stephan, for coming to spend time with us today.
It's a Skeletor.
Oh, it's Skeletor. I was going to say, do you have a He-Man scenario for Murder on the Side yet?
I don't. I've got a He-Man story. I don't know if you got time for a He-Man story, but do you know did you see the Money Supermarket adverts on TV with Skeletor? He's so Money Supermarket. I was up for that Skeletor job.
Amazing.
And I had to dance for 5 minutes. Of course I didn't get the job. Was that
down to the dancing skills or your voice for Skeletor?
No, it was the dancing skill. Never again. It was the most horrific audition I've ever had. I turned up, they gave me a Skeletor mask and went, right, we're going to be playing, I think it was Donna Summer or something. All we want you to do is dance for a whole 5 minutes. It was the worst 5 minutes of my life. I did a movie called Dirty Dutch, which you'll be doing the I think it's going to be hitting streaming soon, which is a comedy about a filmmaker making a film called Dirty Dutch. It's all about behind the scenes. It's great fun. So look out for that too.
Go for it. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, guys. Stay tuned for future episodes and follow us on Facebook, Gordy Camp TV, and at Gordy Camp on Instagram and Threads. That was Stephan Bessant with us today. Thank you again, Stephan. Until next time, everyone. Look after yourselves, and whatever you're doing, break a leg. Take care.